Well, I don't know if I should really bother saying, "Hi guys, welcome to Origin." There's probably no guys left to say that to. I guess I'll start by saying Happy New Year, even though I wasn't around much in the previous year. Last time I made a video was June, and that was just before Brexit. And since then, so many exciting things have happened, and I have not been around to say anything about it. That's just mental. The old me would have jumped on some of the stuff that happened. I mean, Donald Trump is the US president. How have I not been Okay, so let's get the excuses out of the way. Last year, I mentioned that I was working on a project called the Operatic. I had a website, I had a blog which suffered a spam attack, and I genuinely thought that hundreds of people were actually commenting on the blog. To call that a brain fart, yeah, it doesn't quite cover it really, does it? But basically that project has kind of been stop-start because I haven't been sure what I want to do with it. I went through several productive periods as I thought I knew what I wanted to do. The first idea for the channel was based on education. The idea was there are tons of companies that want to hire people, but they can't find people with the right skills. And there are lots of people that complain about how university doesn't really teach the right skills for those kinds of jobs. And I thought maybe you could, solve a multitude of problems if you just took the very specific thing that you want that employee to be able to do and just teach them that. And you could do it in the form of a game. It sounds mad, but I'll link a video to Elon Musk describing something similar. I thought of the idea independently, and I was amazed when he mentioned it as well. It was kind of a vindication. But the problem with the idea was I just felt it was too big. I found it difficult to keep a consistent upload schedule of videos on this channel. How am I going to run a massive business? Clearly that's a non-starter. So as that reality began to set in, and I kind of realised what a mammoth task I had actually tried to set out to do, I just said, yeah, let's just scrap that. Let's try something else. The other thing that I've made videos about quite a lot on this channel, and something that I'm very interested in, is futurism. Predicting the future, how society is going to turn out, how technology is going to turn out. The Operatic itself, the name comes from a thought experiment that I did in an earlier video. And this was certainly less work. The problem is it would have required making videos on YouTube, but every single video had to be extremely well researched. And really, the last time I made a video talking about why I hadn't made videos for so long, I basically said the problem was I put too much pressure on myself to make the perfect video, that it had to be researched, it had to be immune from well, obviously not any possible criticism. It's going to be criticised no matter what, but as much as possible I wanted the thing to be foolproof. The amount of effort involved in making something of that quality, it's impossible to face doing for me. So even that was too much. So that was where I was at in kind of late October, early November last year, as I actually tried to make the first video for the Operatic YouTube channel. I've learned all the skills on Blender. I know exactly how to do it, and I gave myself a quick refresher today. I know roughly well, I think I can make a very professional looking video with that software, but it it can't be based on the kind of videos that I wanted to make about predicting the future that requires so much um, research. Again, I think it's too much for one person to do, especially right off the bat. Maybe that can happen again in the future. Maybe the earlier idea can, but this is all uh, this is all a bit further along than I'm really capable of doing at the moment. I need to start smaller. There was another problem as well. Um, I have a rough idea of what it takes to become successful on YouTube from watching other popular YouTubers and just from I've been making videos on YouTube in some form now. Origin's not my first channel. I've had channels going back to about 2006. Not that there's been much content on those channels, but um, you know, I've been on YouTube quite a while. I spend most of my time on it in my free time. So I'm developing a sixth sense as to what tends to work. And the problem is that a lot of people naturally have the personality that makes those kinds of videos. For me, um, I'm very introverted. I'm very monotonous in terms of how I speak. Terrible at real-time stuff. I would need to drastically overhaul my entire personality to make the kind of videos that that actually do well on YouTube. And in this video, I'm making a conscious effort to try and talk faster, to try and leave fewer gaps, fewer ums and ahs, speech errors, things like that. But that takes time to develop. And I'm also subscribed to a lot more bigger YouTubers. I mean, generally before maybe 4 or 5 months ago, it was just people in our community. People that made videos about atheism and more recently about feminism and Islam. And I don't have any interest in that anymore. I'm fed up of those types of videos. I don't really watch any of them anymore. The people I'm subscribed to at the moment don't really tend to do much other than talk about their own interests, their favorite books or films, or and just vlog their everyday lives. There's a whole range of people, but that's what I've tended to gravitate towards recently. And I think that has to be the direction that the Operatic at least starts with. I can still make it quite substantial. I can still include political elements or perspectives on social issues, things like that. But it needs to be a lot less research heavy, stressful, all of these different things. And I have to not put pressure on myself. So here is where my current idea comes in. It's now 2017 and I'm getting sick of hiatuses and putting things off and not being able to follow through with stuff. This is the year I take a stand. So I'm going to vlog my attempts at being productive. Just for another thing to make sure that we all understand is I can't worry about what anyone thinks of this channel anymore. That was a problem I had in the past. There have only ever been a maximum of 1,500 subscribers on this channel anyway. It's ridiculous to have that kind of perspective, and I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but yeah, I'm just going to make what I want. If I lose subscribers, I lose subscribers. If I don't take these kinds of risks, nothing's ever going to change, and I'm sick of it. So I'm going to vlog my attempts to be productive, let you inside of my crazy mind, and we'll just see how it goes. And this is the video where I hold myself to the fire and where I say, you know what, I'm doing this, I'm uploading this video to YouTube. It doesn't matter what I think of it. There are tons of problems with this video, I know that. I'm just going to upload it and then we're going to start. And 2017 is not going to be like the previous years. It's going to be like 2009, where I did tons of stuff and I didn't care what anyone thought. And I didn't care that it was pretty much universally terrible, because it was. But I'm going to slowly arrive at something that I'm happy with, that I can look on and say, you know, this is what I want to do long term. This is what makes me happy. This is what I want to do with my life. It is always, whatever I think about, it keeps coming back to this. So I'm going to make it work no matter what. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.